Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about Randa, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So, small update. We have two key levels at the moment. $3.70. If they break to the downside, then this would be an head and shoulders formatation. So $3.70, if they break to the downside, then I think the box between $3.35 to $3.26 is going to get very interesting. We have also said that this might be here an H pattern. I would still keep this in the chart like this. We can still develop it. This is just going to be the right shoulder, and yes, it would be almost the same target, so this purple box. If we break the $3.97 on the other hand, to the upside, then this looks to me like a double bottom pattern. And then the target is going to be $4.20 with a high chance that we are going to fill the fair value gap here first at around about $4.10. So I will give you here the two price marks as well. So we just jump to the next coin, TAO. So what I have done for TAO is we have had our rising wedge in bright blue. It broke to the downside. I have just adjusted the price target. Instead of having it on the breakout point, I put it to the highest point. So basically $326 is going to be the target. Also for TAO we have set H pattern. It didn't break to the downside. So for a short position, I would wait a bit longer. $360. If they break to the downside, then I think $334 is going to get very interesting. Next support is waiting at $314 for TAO. If we break the $404 to the upside, then I think the drop is done and we can get into the next resistance at $436, even a bit higher, $500 if we break that also here to the upside. So quick update on Kaspa. H pattern, which broke to the upside, retested it. I'm short for Kaspa. What I have done is we have set fair value gap up to 9.1 cents. We filled that fair value gap. We got rejected there. So I have adjusted the price target. I put it to the highest point. Target now is not going to be the 7.7 cents anymore. It's going to be the 7.9 cents from the H pattern. We also have here fair value gaps, bigger ones. So basically this is going to get very interesting in my opinion. If we break the 9.1 cents, which is this white trend line, to the upside, then I think we can get into the next fair value gap up here. Here's the price tag. Let's do it perfect. So 9.4 cents up to 9.5 cents. This is going to get very interesting. I don't see any kind of other chart patterns. So basically no other bearish chart pattern, no bullish chart pattern. If we get into that fair value gap, then it might be possible that we have here some kind of a bear flag or rising wedge, which we can develop. So what about ONDO? I'm also short for ONDO because of this H pattern, and it broke to the downside. It also broke the purple box to the downside, retested it. That's why I went into a short position. On the other hand, let me take out what I drew yesterday. Or let's keep it, I will explain it real quick. So, like this. So if we zoom in, we had a fair value gap right here. We have said we can fill that fair value gap. From here we can sell off, or we get a nice breakout over the box, retest it and get higher prices. So far, okay, that fair value gap got literally closed a bit more. So basically we went up here into the upper part of the box, but we didn't break the box to the upside yet. We didn't break it to the downside, sustainable. So basically now it means stay calm if you are not in a short position, if you are not into a long position, doesn't matter. Wait a bit longer. We have developed a rising wedge, so the whole up movement is corrective. We also got the first sign of weakness by breaking the H pattern right here to the downside and retest it. And we have seen in the past, whenever we got, for example, like this, first signs, we got a retest on the upper part of that box. Here we fell lower, came again into the upper part of the box, and we sold off. Where are we right now? We showed weakness by losing the box, and we were in the upper part of the box. And the past times, this happened. Since we have this rising wedge, breakout point is going to be, not in my opinion, up here at 98.9 cents. Not going to take it. It's better to wait for the orange trend line, which indicated our old H pattern, 98.3 cents. I'm not going to jump into a short position there. Why? Because I'm already in a short position. But once we break it to the downside, if I don't have a short position, then I would get into one once we break the 98.36 cents to the downside. Target is going to be the first fair value gap, 94.3 cents. This one right here. And 93.7 cents. I don't think that we are going to get a bullish reversal there. We have a support at 92.5 cents, which I think is far more interesting. That's why I will take out those price tags and I would just mark this here as a fair value gap. So I would be a bit careful once we get into that fair value gap. Maybe we get here a bounce and sell off again. That's what I think. Anyway, we have had nice support right here. We got resistance twice right here. Here it was weird. Here it was also weird, but here it was resistance again. So basically, I think this is going to be the only support which I see, which is very interesting. We can also take this one right here. This also looks interesting to me. But the overall target, in my opinion, but we have to adjust it a bit, like this, is going to be the lower part of all the fair value gaps, 88.2 cents. This is going to be my target. I doubt that we are going to sell off into the purple box again, but if we should and if we also lose that, then we have to think about prices getting far lower, even up down to 70 cents. Very bearish. So far we are so far away from that. So basically we don't have to think about it. I would think about the 98 cents first. If they break to the downside, 92.5 cents first target, second target 88 cents. And it's going to change if we get other chart patterns. So if we break here to the downside and we form another kind of an bear flag, for example, and we also break it here to the downside, then we can measure new targets and can increase our position size again. Even though that we took profits before, we can just re-enter the market. Yeah, then maybe we make a 1% less profit, maybe even a bit more profit, because if we take profits right here and we short again right here, then it would be even positive. But we have to look, we have to see how the price is going to develop. Then we can get new entries. For now, it's 98.3 cents. In the future, I hope that we get more clear market situations where we find more chart patterns, like for example this rising wedge, which we can trade as well. So on the bullish side, I would say if we get over the box, which is the price mark of exactly $1, I will also put you here the price mark, $1. If we break it to the upside, get a retest, then I think the fair value gap between $1.03 to $1.05 is going to get interesting. And there I would also look for some chart patterns, because this can also just develop as a bigger rising wedge, which then breaks to the downside, and we can still fill the fair value gaps down below here. So with that said, we see each other in tomorrow's update unless nothing happened. Yeah, if maybe tomorrow is a boring Sunday, then maybe I'm not going to do a video. Maybe I will still keep you updated. If I see something new, then for sure I will keep you updated. So with that said, we see each other hopefully tomorrow with new chart patterns and new trading opportunities.